Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the channel. Today something a little different. We're at the modelling bench, so yes, there is bits of model tank and glue and paint and sanding sticks and paint and all sorts hanging about, but I've cleared a bit of space, and today we're going to be looking at the Marina i110 internal filter. Why have you gone and bought one of them, Sharpie? That's what you're asking, isn't it? Well, the reason why is at the moment these filters are on sale in Lidl in the UK for £9.99, and you know, that's a sensible price, and a spare filter is never a bad thing to have. So I thought I'll get one, because I do kind of need one for the little Pleco grow out tank, because the filter in there isn't really coping that well. It needs degunging every couple of days pretty much. So I thought this would do just the job. So what do we have? We have, as it says, internal filter, compact and powerful, waterfall spout for oxygenation, ideal for goldfish or tropical tanks. No, it doesn't say bowl, doesn't say goldfish bowl. Always a bonus. Same guff in French. 3-in-1 quick change power cartridge plus bio screen. Well, that's probably all going to go in the bin, let's be honest. On the side, the waterfall spout, meaning the top of it sits out of the water and it pours out into it. Bit of a view of the interior of it. Figure out how to take the motor out so you can clean it out later. I'm guessing there's something in the instructions about that. Same guff in a couple of different languages, and the same on that side. So let's get her out. Oh, while we're looking, 2-year warranty on it as well, which is always a good thing to see. So pull it out the box. Does come with instructions. So looks like it all comes apart, and you can clean out the impeller and replace the various parts as and when needed. Blah blah blah. The only thing is minimum water level. Yeah, it's just, yeah, usual. I'm a man, I will figure this stuff out myself. So, plastic bag. Suction cuppy, sticky on bit. Slides up and down on the back, I guess. It's not particularly secure, but you know, it'll hold it. It'll at least hold it onto the side. Probably way too short a cable. Why these things never come with a sensible length cable, I have no idea. There's always something in the instructions about having a drip loop, and then they give you about an 18-inch lead, so you know you can't. But what we got? About 5-foot lead on it, so not too bad. UK 3-pin plug, 3-amp fuse. What do we have inside? Well, we have, I mean, this has got a couple of decent features. Like, yes, I have actually had it out of the box just to check that I wasn't going to start making a video and it was broken already. So, exterior case, and what do we get inside? There's our motor compartment. Comes off, so you can get the impeller out to clean. Sensible. Easy enough to deal with. And our media basket with what they call a bio screen. In the bin. And then this is the one thing, because I'm not a fan of cartridge filters, having to replace the cartridge every so often, so obviously we're not going to be using these. But the actual main, which is just the usual bit of floss in a cage with some carbon inside it, but it does have that at the bottom which does fit over corresponding in there, so all the water does get forced through that, which is a good thing. So what are we going to do if we're not going to be using that? And I'll keep it because you never know, it might come useful for something someday. Well, what we do is random blocks of sponge. Now I know people are going to shout, but what about biological media? Yeah. This is going into a grow out tank which has got a bare bottom. Excuse me while I open a swig. Still not sponsored. So the tank this is going into, it'll have the cycle up to the point of creating nitrates. It will never, its stocking levels and available filtration and media, it's never going to have the nitrate removal, so we won't even bother with any of that. So job one is find some sponge, some bits I happen to have laying about because, fish keeper. This is actually the piece of sponge, yes it looks manky. It's the piece I use to seed media into a couple of my tanks actually. Jam down into the back of a fluval flex in front of the gaps, put it in your shop might help. So if this was the fluval flex with the inlets for the filter compartment where the sponge sits, this was jammed in there, so it pulled all the water through there, pulled all the gunk into there, bacteria grew in it, I stuck it in another tank, job done. And this one's just a slightly finer grade of foam. So, oh pardon me, yeah, you can see all the gunk that's coming out of this sponge. So let's go width wise, we're not too far off on the width, so we're going to be about there-ish. Just put a little nip in so we know where we're going, and depth wise about there-ish. And it's just a case of cut the sponge, he says, having got the world's worst pair of scissors for cutting through sponge. So what he's going to do is he's going to cheat and actually use something sharp in a scalpel. And yes peeps, don't use a scalpel if you're not used to it or be safe with it. This thing has been designed with the specific intent of cutting through human flesh, so and yeah, you can see the gunge that's still coming out of this. Now where did I slice it for width? Which side was it? That side. I mean, these don't need to be a perfect fit, just ish will do. So there's the first piece of sponge in. Squish it down nice. And I reckon, you know, piece of this just the same size and we'll be there. So yes, I know I've not cut it exactly straight, but let's be honest, does it really matter? No. It's not like the Home Aquarist has a die cutter for these things. Somewhere around there. And this sponge is easier to cut through. It's not quite as wire wool as the other one was, so we will at least try and cut semi-straight, he says. And obviously, whenever you're using a cutting implement, cut away from yourself, make sure your fingers aren't in the way, all that good stuff. So we then jam that in, shake out some more of the guff and the crud, jam the final one in, reattach the motor, drop it back in, job done. That'll do a far better job of filtering muck out the water, and when it comes around to time to clean it out, a heck of a lot easier too. So there we go, the Marina i110, available for £10 or £9.99 in your local Lidl this week. Not sponsored by Lidl, I just do my shopping there. Do I think it's worth £9.99? Yep. Do I think the included media is absolute garbage? And when I say media, I include everything. I don't just mean the biomedia. I mean the sponge, the floss, the biomedia, the everything. Anything that has anything to do with filtration is media. In a fish tank anyway. In the real world, if it's got anything to do with lying, it's usually called media as well. Or politics. So, what comes with it for filtration media? Yeah, garbage. But as you're seeing, just a couple of blocks of sponge, which most fish keepers will have lying around. If not, they're readily and cheaply available either online or at your local fish supply store or kitchen supply store, or you know, anywhere that sells pieces of sponge store. Obviously be careful not to buy any of the ones that have got pre-impregnated soap or anything in them. So just cheap. The cheaper you go, the better, probably. Anyway, I'm going to go fit this into the the 40 litre Pleco tub, squirt a bit of bacteria, bottle bacteria actually, into the filter media, and hopefully that will keep them cleaner and happier. So hope it's been useful. If not, meh. Thanks for watching. Usual, like, subscribe, blah blah, all that stuff. If you've got any questions or things to point out, leave them in the comments down there somewhere. Yeah. Peace out, enjoy your hobby, rock on, bye bye.